There's no denying that decluttering can be a daunting task. If you have that old storage unit or closet that's been unorganized for quite some time, it can be easy to brush the task off. I know this has been the case for my apartment ever since we moved in last year, so I'm getting on my feet and encouraging you to do so as well in this new Declutter With Me video series. Hopefully, the behind the scenes of my decluttering process will give you some tips for organization and decluttering if you're having trouble doing so, as specific, concrete examples are often more helpful in practice. Decluttering takes time and doesn't happen overnight, so tackle it one area at a time. Today, I'll be tackling our hallway closet, which often gets overlooked, as well as our bookshelf. Let's get started. Our hallway closet holds a variety of tools, electronics, memorabilia, and as of recent, some of our cookie business's packaging supplies. Ever since the start of our business, we've had to shift quite a few things around, but I'm looking forward to organizing it once and for all today. From the surface, the closet doesn't look bad at all, but I do think it's a good practice, at least once a year, to do a run-through of our belongings to see what we can sell, declutter, recycle, or donate. I'll do a brief organization of some areas first, shuffling some pieces in the closet to better optimize space before the real work begins. Boxes are one of my favorite ways to keep things organized, but they can hold quite a bit of junk if not maintained. I'm going to go through this first set of cards and photos on the top shelf. Everyone has their preferences with sentimental items, so take your time if you have cards from loved ones. A large majority of the cards we saved are wedding cards, which are from 3 years ago, and we both thought it would be okay to recycle most of them. The same goes for some greeting cards from long ago. It was fun for me to read through them and feel the sentiment, but I know it will be much more worthwhile to reach out to some of these friends and reconnect more often. So the first set of the closet was pretty easy, as there wasn't too much to declutter aside from some greeting cards, but the other side is a different story. It's filled with slightly organized woodworking tools and materials, recently received packages, and quite a bit of our business materials. It's time for a deep clean and declutter of this side. I'm first going through some of the bags and boxes on the top of the closet. I tend to save paper packaging material for shipping gifts to friends, subscribers, or when selling items online. I've noticed I have far more than I need though, so we'll neatly pack what I need and recycle the rest. Otherwise, the rest of the boxes and bags need a bit of organizing, not too much decluttering. It's easy to toss items back in a hurry into these boxes and cover them up, so a quick organizing doesn't hurt. With those boxes organized, they go back up on the shelf, and it's time to tackle the lower storage shelf. I check to see if anything can be logically placed on the top shelf and play around with the arrangement of our items. Ideally, my goal is to keep our business-specific items on certain shelving and to have the other things stay next to each other in a logical manner on the bottom shelves. I'm gaining pretty good ground until I discover a black duffel bag. To my surprise, Peter has used this as storage for all sorts of cables, gym items, and more. It's the organizer's nightmare. So with his permission and advice, I start organizing the cables with old rubber bands, keeping them wrapped in the same color rubber band if used for the same device. I've also opened up that other box from decluttering my greeting cards before, so I can use that same box for this newly discovered collection of cables. This duffel bag is usually Peter's gym bag. He hasn't been to the gym due to the pandemic, but I'm keeping all of his exercise accessories in it for now as it makes the most sense. We also have his computer monitor from work, which he borrowed and keeps stored on the side of the hallway. There's no room for that in the closet, so we'll have to make do until he goes back to the office. While it may not look super different, it's quite satisfying to declutter a few items and organize a storage situation over here a bit more logically. With the closet squared away, it's time to do a quick run through of our built-in bookshelf. We don't have too many books to begin with, and Peter prefers that I don't declutter most of his collection, so I'll mostly be tackling what I have. We often use the bookshelf as a catch-all area, so I'm doing what I can to reduce the clutter that has accumulated over time, from mail to office supplies. We have a simple organization system with our office supplies in this drawer and our cables organized on top. But it's always good to do a quick sweep through to see if anything needs to get decluttered. So about 2 hours later in this process, here's what I ended up decluttering from my closet and my shelf. First, a few books and magazines that I wrote a column for but don't plan on reading anymore. I've already gifted a few of these books, and that may be the best bet, as I'm finding that selling books is often quite difficult and not really worth the time. Next are a few items that need to be returned to their rightful owners. Oftentimes, we have a few things that end up in our closet that we forget to return. Third are a few things to sell. I'm selling off my old camera microphone, which I ended up not using very much ever since I bought it. The other thing to sell is a used modem that we might be able to get a little bit of cash from. There are just a few things to donate or gift. We have a graphing calculator and a compass that one of the youth at our church will take, a hose hook that I purchased on accident but wasn't able to return, as well as an extra lamp that works perfectly fine. Last, I'm recycling or composting our cards and any extra packaging material. We'll drop off some used light bulbs and batteries at a light bulb store and have a whole bunch of compostable packaging peanuts that I can drop off at UPS for reuse. Earth 911 is one of my favorite websites to determine where to recycle different items. So if you're in this decluttering process, I hope you found this video encouraging and helpful if you're also doing it with me. Sometimes it's tough to get up from your seat or feel motivated to clean and declutter, but it's always rewarding once it's done. If you have any questions about your decluttering and organization process, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks so much for watching.